Hey, what's up YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal. What I'm listening to this week is a lot of brutal death metal. So you're going to see a little bit of a trend this week, but yeah, some stuff I've already shown on this channel before, some stuff I don't think I have yet. I don't remember. I've recorded so many videos now, I just don't remember. But let's go ahead and get started with the tapes as always. The first one, like I said, I don't know if I've shown this on here before, but this is the new Torture Rack EP that came out this year. Torture Rack is a band from Portland. I think it's Portland. They have another demo out and then 2 other full lengths. Admittedly, this is my first ever Torture Rack that I've ever owned. It is about just over 6 minutes long, and that's it. It's a very quick listen, but it's an incredible listen on this really nice red tape on Head Split Records. Yeah, like I said, it's a 6-minute listen. It's something you go to the bathroom and you listen to, or if you are in the mood for like a 6-minute jog or something. I don't know. Really just, you pop it on, you listen to it for about 6 minutes, and then you flip the tape and listen to it again for about 6 minutes. But it's really, really good. I remember being really excited when this first came out. It came out several months ago, but yeah. They're still around, so if you're looking for these, I know that people have them in their distros, and Headsplit might even still have some of these available. But yeah, Torture Rack, admittedly, I don't have any of their other stuff in my collection, and this admittedly was probably one of the first things that really got me into them. I did hear their full length. They came out about 2 years ago on 20 Bucks Spin. I think it was called Malefic Humiliation. I think that's what it was called. Was that on 20 Bucks Spin? Yeah, I think it was. I remember hearing that. I never bought it, but I've been seeing it floating around on vinyl and stuff, so I might pick it up. But now that I've gone back and listened to it, I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, this is a really fun band. This is a really fun tape, and like I said, it doesn't take a lot of time out of your day, but it's definitely worth the money. It's been really good. So immediately, I probably should have put this in my favorite EPs to be released this year. I shockingly forgot about it, so that's a shame. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, this is definitely high up there again. It's only 4 songs, but again, like I said, it's like 6 minutes, so we're quick listening. Next up is a band that I actually just recently got this not that long ago, but I've been listening to it a ton this week, and that is the Coffin Grinder demo on Goat Throne Records. So this was actually released in 2001, and then Goat Throne just did a repressing of this. So it comes on this nifty, like, translucent green tape. So a little bit of background on Coffin Grinder. Well, first of all, this is really good. It's old school, 2000 era old school sounding death metal. It's filthy sounding. It's got a filthy production, but it's good. It's really, really good. So Bo in this band this is pre-Insect Warfare and Malignant Altar. So this is his band from way back when, before those bands were into fruition. So yeah, this is really good. And I think there might still be a few copies left on Go Throne, but I've seen this getting a lot of praise, and it's definitely deserved. It's very good, filthy sounding death metal. And like I said, it's on Goat Throne Records. So really good tape. Happy I have that. Like I said, I've been seeing more people talking about it, so that makes me happy. And then the final tape is, and I think this might be like the 3rd or 4th time I've shown this on my channel, but I just keep going back to it. And this is the Thorn EP that came out earlier this year. It was technically released last year, but they did the pressing on Gurgling Gore. So Thorn is a one-man band. The main guy, Brennan, is currently the new vocalist of Fluids. And I don't know if they actually did like a huge announcement about that. I can't remember, but yeah, so this is really good. It's called the Encompassing Nothing. This is a very cavernous sounding death metal album, but it's very good, and I've listened to this a lot. So something I'm really excited about is that he has been teasing on Instagram that there's going to be new music coming, and today it was announced for next Bandcamp Friday, which is next Friday, so May 7th. So really excited about that. This has been one of my favorite releases that I've gotten so far this year. Aside from the music, there's the amazing tape aesthetics from Gurgling Gore, and just the Norelco case is also in purple. So yeah, if you have not listened to this, please check it out. There's also the Thorn and Fumes split. That's also really good, but this is a really good tape, really good album, and I've listened to it several times. So yeah, again, that's on Gurgling Gore. I'm pretty sure these are sold out everywhere, so maybe someday it'll get a repressing. I don't know if it ever came out on CDs or not, but if I can find a CD link, I'll link it in the description. All right, so moving on to a couple CDs. Like I said, I pulled out a bunch of my old CDs, and I went through a lot of them, and I rebought ones that were in really rough shape because I had just listened to them. So admittedly, this was actually a new pickup for me, so I'll probably put this in a new update for my collection update, but I've been listening to this digitally all week long before I got the CD, because after I pretty much dug out my other CDs by this band, I was like, you know what, I never bought this. So this is Cattle Decapitation's medium rarities, that's what it's called. So, you know, Cattle Decapitation, I don't think I need any more, need to do any more description. I think this came out last year? No, 2 years ago. Wow, that was 2 years ago. That's crazy. So this is a compilation CD of just tons of stuff. Like there's 23 songs on here. There's stuff from unreleased things. There's some demo stuff. There's a hidden track from To Serve Man that back then when that came out, like everybody went apeshit about that track. So it's just, it's a really cool comp CD. They put out vinyls and stuff like that a couple years ago. And admittedly, I never bought it. And I don't know why. I think it might've just been one of those things where I wasn't fully sold on the compilation stuff back then. I just recently started to fall in love with that idea. But Cattle Decapitation is one of my all-time favorite bands. So I have been trying to get everything in their discography. There's a couple of things that were pressed on vinyl when they first came out and they haven't been repressed since, and the vinyl is just an obnoxiously large amount of money on Discogs. So I'm picking up CDs, and I know I could have gotten the vinyl for this, but it was cheap, and like I said, I just, whatever, it's in my collection, that's all that matters. So there's a lot of good stuff on here. Some stuff that, you know, sounds terrible because it's old, but still good because it's Cattle Decapitation. So yeah, happy I have this. It was out on Metal Blade, so, and these are everywhere you can find them. They probably still have this on Metal Blade's website. I admittedly got this off of Amazon, I think. I don't remember. I just remember it was like $10, so it was cheap. Next up is, and this is kind of a cheat because I was actually listening to this last week too, but figured since I listened to it a couple more times this week, I'll just throw it in this episode. And that is the new Granulated. It's either EP or demo, whatever. It's 4 songs, whatever that is, if it's an EP or demo. So if you're not familiar with Granulated, this is his name is Aaron, and he's also in the band Molder. This is his one-man death metal project that he currently has out on Throne Records. So this was a gift from Ken, from Ken's Death Metal Crypt, that he sent me a couple months ago. I know I showed this on here in a collection update. And ever since I got my CD player, I have been listening to this nonstop. So this is really good. So if you have not heard this yet, definitely check this out. This has been in my CD player ever since I got it, and I have not stopped listening to it. It's been about once a day I've listened to this. So, and it's a quick listen. Like I said, it's only 4 songs, but it's really good. So yeah, and if you're also not familiar, Molder is another amazing band, and definitely check that out too. And that can be found places, and I know this is floating around in other distros too, so good stuff. And then finally with the CDs, yeah, I pretty much made it a point, you know, to say that Tool is my favorite band of all time. Like, it is my favorite band. And ever since I got the Fear Inoculum CD, I of course pulled out all the other ones that I own, and yeah, I mean, we'll get into this in another video someday, but this is my all-time favorite album of all time of everything that I've ever listened to. And if you're not familiar, this is Tool's Enema. Just all around nostalgic, amazing album for me. Long story about this album and why I love it so much. But yeah, I could talk about this for 30 minutes, and I'm not going to this week, but maybe some another day next week, I'm planning to do my all-time favorite albums, at least for now. I'm sure there's going to be some coming out, or that have come out in the recent years that might get into that list eventually someday. But for now, these are the ones that are considered my all-time favorite albums. All right, so moving on to the vinyl. So surprisingly, I only listened to really like a handful of vinyl this week. I've just been really pumping out the tapes and the CDs lately, so my record player hasn't been getting nearly as much love as it should have been. But I have been in kind of a brutal death metal mood. I've just ordered a bunch of stuff that I've been wanting in my collection, so it'll all be coming here next week. So my collection update will probably be pretty brutal death metal themed. But I pulled out the new Disentomb Decaying Light, on Unique Leader Records. And I don't remember if I've shown this in another video or not, but this is admittedly my only Disentomb album in my collection, and this is the only time that I've ever heard them. So yeah, this is just a really good album all around. I remember when it first came out, which was 2 years ago. That seems like a really long time. That's crazy. Anyway, I remember when it came out, I heard it and I kind of was like, yeah, it's all right. I don't know if I'm gonna buy that. And then more and more saw it popping up and on Instagram and people raving about it, and that's what it looks like. And I still wasn't fully sold on it yet. Like I kind of have to be in the mood for a certain kind of brutal death metal, and this was one of those times where I just wasn't really listening to it a lot at that time. And yeah, I just didn't get it for that reason. And then just like something one day this year clicked with me, and I listened to it and I loved it and was like, yeah, this is a solid album. This is really good. So I understand what everybody's talking about. And I just randomly found it for sale on, it wasn't Unique Leader's website. I don't remember where I got it from. And I was shocked because I knew that this was pretty much selling out. So I was surprised that I found this. But yeah, it's a really good album. It's got an etching on one side. You probably can't see it. But yeah, it's a really good album. Admittedly, this is the first time I've ever heard Disentomb. They are from Australia. So, Australian band, Faceless Burial is the other Australian band that I typically pull out a lot and listen to a lot. So yeah, I need to dig further into their discography. I know that they have 2 other full lengths out there, and I've seen them floating around, so I'm gonna sit down and listen to them probably today, tomorrow, whenever I can, and see if I like them and maybe go on a hunt for them. And also they released a new track a couple of weeks ago, like a week or 2 ago, and it sounds really good. So floating some new music, hopefully coming out soon, that'd be great. So yeah, great album. I love the artwork on this, and it's a double LP. The orange and black splatter just is gorgeous. Yeah, just a really good album. So if you're into the brutal death metal stuff, if you haven't heard Disentomb, you'll probably really enjoy this. Although I feel like most of you who watch this channel probably already have. So, and then finally, kind of foreshadow this a little bit, I pulled out Fluids. I'm gonna pop that back down real fast because it's quite the album cover. This is their EP that came out last year. I forgot what it's called. Sorry. Ignorance Exhalted, that's right, on Maggot Stomp. I love the layout of this album, especially the big chunky block letters on the back, and their first full length is exactly like that too. Fluids is Fluids. I mean, I don't really know what else to say that hasn't been said in other videos. It's brutal death metal. It's got a little bit of a grindcore-ish sound to it, grind death, whatever you want to call it. Hysterical band. I find them to be incredibly funny. Their Instagram is interesting, to say the least. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this. It's it's Mortician sounding. It's got samples in it and stuff that grosses people out. It's very gory. It's it's that gore brutal death metal. And I got the piss yellow variants is what I think it's called. And I think these are still around. I kind of admittedly wish I had gotten that milky white one. I thought that looked really, really nice. But I chose to get the piss yellow just because that's what they called it. And again, a little minor detail, but I always really enjoy when they do this is they make the inner sleeve the same color as like the rest of the layout. So I don't, just a little minor detail that I always like when labels do that. So yeah, like I said, Brennan from Thorn is the new Fluid singer. I know that they're working on new music and eventually it'll be out soon, so that's exciting. I know, I don't remember who they signed to. I know, I have it up right here. I don't remember. They just recently signed to somebody new. I'm blanking, sorry. But yeah, I don't think Fluids really needs any more discussion. I think a lot of people know who they are. Either you love them or you hate them. But I will say, if you follow them on Instagram and you are offended by the stuff that they post, which is very, very gory pictures, I just keep scrolling. Like, you don't flag it. It's not doing anything. I just don't understand it. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting me. I reached over 400 subscribers. Just incredible. I'm blown. My mind is blown about that. Really quickly, I started a Big Cartel shop where I've put up some tapes and some vinyl that I'm planning to sell for my collection. All stuff that's either duplicates that I just bought different color variants and realized I just went a little bit out of control there, so I'm selling those. I'm selling some tapes where I have vinyl for, or I have a CD of, and I'm just choosing to get rid of the tapes. Stuff like that. It's been open since yesterday. I've sold quite a bit already, and I will link it in the description. I pretty much ship everything the next day. It's all through Big Cartel's website and PayPal. It's, you know, it's secure. I figured it was a more secure way of selling, and I like the way Big Cartel has their store set up, and there's just less fees and all that garbage that you have to deal with like on eBay and Discogs. So if you're interested in anything, I put up a lot today. I'm probably gonna put up some more stuff tomorrow. And yeah, just go ahead and check it out. No pressure. And just an FYI on why I'm doing this. Like, yeah, I have a lot of stuff, not nearly as much stuff as, you know, some people, but I'm planning to go back to school for cybersecurity. I'm in the IT realm of my career right now, and it's really expensive. I got accepted into a program and it's really expensive. And to alleviate some of my having to take out horrible student loans and stuff, I figured might as well sell off the things that I don't actually need. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys this week. Again, thank you so much for all the support. Next week, I'm hoping I can pump out a lot more videos. This week was kind of a rough week for me in terms of work and life in general. So next week, I'm hoping to have a lot more content. And as always, if you're watching this and you like what you're seeing, and you don't find this to be incredibly a big waste of time, go ahead and subscribe and follow me on my social media accounts. Thank you guys.